What is happening, guys, and welcome back. So today I'm going to show you guys the process that I go through to turn these 3D printed crankbaits into something like this. Alright, first is going to be the printing process. Alright, these are printed at 80% infill, and I went ahead and printed these with PETG filament. I went ahead and did that just because I wanted that little extra durability, and wanted to make sure that these had the heat resistance if these were out in the sun, or hopefully I'm going to try to keep them out of the sun so we don't have any melting. But these are printed with PETG filament at 80% infill. So we're going to I'm going to show you guys how I turn these into the fully epoxied with the treble hooks. And then once we get these done, me and my son are going to go out, and he is going to fish with the chartreuse color, and I will fish with the green color. So hopefully you guys stay to the end and see if these actually work and catch any fish. So all right, so we're gonna start off here. I struggled to find a good solution for the eyelets. I all over Amazon. I wanted something that I was going to be able to, wouldn't be too big and bulky, but it was going to be able to be fit in there, and something that end product looks something similar to that. What I ended up coming up with is I went to the local Rural King, and back in the aisle where all the picture hanging stuff is, they had spools of galvanized wire. So this is I believe this was 22 GW by 100 foot. It was like 479 for a pack. It is nice and smooth. I'm able to do what I need to. You can bend it without it breaking really easy. So so far this has worked out perfect. And I mean, you get 100 foot of this for 479, I believe it was. So I mean, I could make up hundreds and thousands of probably eyelets. But all right, so here's my process that I use for the eyelets. So take probably, I'd say, about an inch and a quarter. Yeah, we'll just eyeball it there. And then so piece about yay long, inch and a quarter. And then I have this pick here that I use to actually form this. So all I do with this is just take the wire, put it in the middle there, bend it right around it, and then once I have it bent around, take my pliers. These ones seem to work the best because they got that nice flat spot there. Pinch that together like that, and then all I'm going to do is just take this and twist this around a handful of times until it's nice and snug, and everything looks good. I don't want to go too tight with it, but twist that on around there like that. We're going to snip off the very end to give us a nice flush look at the end, and once we're done, slide this off the end, and this is what you're left with. So super quick and easy. Like I said, the best thing, this is the best thing. This is the easiest and the cheapest thing that I have been able to come up with. And I've used these crankbaits a few times here, so haven't had any issues with that. So all we're going to do now is with our crankbaits here, as you can see at the end, there's no hole there at the end. There's a little hole there at the beginning, at the front end, where we would tie or we would put our eyelet and tie this to our string. I'm gonna take a 1/16 drill bit, and I'm just gonna ream this hole out. Actually, you can kind of see where there's a little like start of a hole there. I'm gonna go ahead and ream that out, and then another thing that I didn't add to this in the beginning is I take, and at the bottom, so when I designed these, I took and 3D scanned one of my old crankbaits that I had. I forget which crankbait it was, but I went ahead and 3D scanned it, and then I this took the 3D scan, put it into a blender, and got it and manipulated some of the some of the layers, and then I made these two little spots here where you can actually add BBs. So those are just BBs. We had a whole tote full of BBs from my son's BB gun that he never uses. I wanted something that was going to be able to give it a little bit of weight so it didn't go belly up when it was swimming. So there is BBs. I just put them in that little hole, drop a little drop of super glue in there, and then once we actually epoxy this, that'll all get nice and smooth over. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go through, and I will drill out the backs, ream out the hole in the front, and in this hole there, the hole there in the belly is not a big deal. It's a little bit of a bigger hole, as you can see. So the eyelet fits in there nice. Fill that with super glue, and the epoxy fills all the rest in there once it gets epoxied. So let me go through, and I will get these all drilled out and start getting these prepped up. Guys, so we got these all ready to go. As you can see, we have all the eyelets and all of them, and what you was probably seeing me do was, nice thing about this is the filament. It cuts with a knife pretty easy, so there were some spots on the back. When the brim, so when I 3D print these, I print these with the brim, and it just prints a little disc around the bottom of it that just helps the crankbait adhere to the bed plate. So there's a little bit of that on there. So that's what you see me doing, was just cutting some of that off and removing that. So all right, so now that we have these in here, I am going to go ahead and mix up the resin and give this super glue a little bit of time to dry here. And by the way, I am just using the Gorilla Glue, the gel Gorilla Super Glue, to glue them in there. And then when I do go to do the resin, between the glue and the resin, it will completely surround the crankbait and help adhere that to it. So um, I honestly, guys, I don't remember the name. I can get on there and see. This was just some cheap resin epoxy that I had found on Amazon. I don't remember the brand. I can dig it up and let you know. And then went to the local craft store and I found this is fine. This is silver argent. I will be mixing a little bit of this, as you can see in the video. That's got a nice, it's going to give it a nice little speckle look there. And then we'll be doing, this is tangerine mangerine. And I'm just going to add a little bit of this, not much of this, mainly the silver, but this is just going to kind of give it a nice little pinkish sparkle there to it as well. So, this is 1-to-1, so I will get this mixed up, and all I'm gonna do is just take and just a little dab of each one of these into the mix of the epoxy. So let me get this mixed up here, and I will show you how we do the epoxy portion. All right, so we've got our resin, we've got the hardener and the resin both poured into there. So all I'm gonna do is we will take the tangerine. We're just gonna take, this is just a coffee stir. I'm just gonna get in here, just kind of mix this up a little bit here. And out of each one of these, don't need much. Like I said, I don't want a whole bunch of this. I just want to give it, just to have it give that little bit of a sparkle into there. So all I'm going to do is just a little dab on the end of this, on the end of our straw. Let's get the lid back on this. And then I'm just going to kind of take and use the side of it to kind of clean all that off of there, and that is down into the bottom of the cup. We will do the same thing here for the silver. This, I'm going to go a little bit heavier on this because I really want that silver, those silver specks to show through. So we're going to get a little bit of a bigger glob on this one. Let's do a tiny little bit more here. All right, that should be good. So let's go ahead. We're going to get this all mixed in here together. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to get the camera to focus on this or not, but don't freak out. Your resin is going to turn milky and it's going to look a little cloudy and everything. Don't freak out. It will dry crystal clear. I don't know if you can see all the speckles on this one or not, but it will dry crystal clear. So don't freak out as you're mixing the if you go with this style flakes or not glitter, your epoxy will turn milky. It will harden clear. So don't freak out if you go to mix it and wondering what the heck. All right, so our epoxy is mixed. We are going to go ahead and give that a second here to to set just for a few minutes here. And what we are also going to do while we're waiting on that, let's go ahead and get our eyes on here. Now we have three crankbaits. We have three different colored eyes here. We have red one. I don't know if you was able to see that in there. I apologize. Here is a silver one and a gold one. So I'm gonna go through and I will get we're gonna do each crankbait is gonna have its own color eyes. I love fishing with red eyes personally, but I mean I know every eye color has its place and time. So I personally love the red eyes, but we're gonna go ahead and just put a color each color on each crankbait just so that way if maybe hey they don't want the red eyes and they're hitting gold, maybe at least we have that crankbait to check. So let me go ahead and go through and get the eyes on each one of these and then we will be ready for epoxy. All right guys, eyelets are on, as you can see, each color. And by the way, if drop down in the comments if you guys you know if any of you guys experience like I said, I love using the red crankbaits with the red eyes, myself personally, but do you guys have any recommendations or any reasons of why you would use one eye color over the other? So be interesting to see what everybody's got to say. So all right, let's go ahead and let's get the epoxy on this. All right, so I'll get this little doodad out here. So this was a old cup turner that we was no longer using, and I was able to find this little gadget here and was able to 3D print it. Went and found some little springs that hook right in there. So this makes was able to 3D print my crankbait turner and didn't have to go buy one. So what we're gonna do is let's go ahead and we are going to get these all hooked into here. Now, I know some people probably do this a little bit different to where they might have a cup. Oh, that super glue wasn't all the way dry on that one. So let's go ahead, give this one another minute here to dry. Actually, let me get a fresh dab of glue onto this one. All right, we'll give this one a second here to sit. Hopefully the rest of these are dry. Normally they only need a few minutes, but we will see. All right, so I'm just gonna give this one here a few more minutes. Let that glue dry in there, and we'll get that one here at the end. So we'll get good little mix here going on our resin again. And then I picked up a pack. These are just it's just a small little brush. I think what I was getting ready to say there before that eyelet come out was, and I know probably some people probably do theirs different. I've seen where you can dunk these. Some people will actually dunk these into a cup. They'll mix it up and you can actually dunk them into there. I kind of like doing it like this because then this way I can get down into all the little creases and cracks, and I can definitely make sure that especially this eyelet here by the BBs, I can really get in there and get that epoxy in there just to kind of fill in where the super glue didn't get to. So let me go through And I'm just going to brush on this epoxy to this whole thing. All right, guys. So I was gonna go ahead and keep going here, but figure let's go ahead and let's pause her here for right now. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna finish getting the rest of these done, but you guys pretty much get the gist of it here. I'll go through and completely coat this. Once I get them all done and coated, then I'm just gonna let this thing do its thing and spin, and we'll get a nice even coat around them all. And I'll just sit there. I'll let this thing spin overnight, and are actually for 24 hours. I actually let this thing go for 24 hours, even though, I think the epoxy, I forget what this has. I think it's a 12 hours, I think is what this is. Um, I let it go for a full 24 hours before I do anything with it. So I'm going to go through, finish getting all the epoxy on the rest of them here, and once we get to the 24 hours, I'll be back. We'll go ahead and get the treble hooks on this, and we are going to go see if these will actually catch us any fish or not. So all right, so we are at our 24-hour mark. Our epoxy has cured all the way. We are going to go ahead and slap some treble hooks on these, and it is time to go fish with these. So I'm going to just quickly show you guys the process here of how I do the treble hooks and which treble hooks and which snap hooks I am actually putting on these. So I will go ahead and give you guys a up close shot of this if I can get it to focus properly. But as you can see, lots of nice glitter, pink glitter, the grays, there's even a little blues in there. So the whole thing, everything is dried. Our eyes are on there really good. Everything on the bottom is good and dry. So let's go ahead and slap the treble hooks on these now. I am using the number 6 treble hooks. Got these on Amazon, I think 17, 18 bucks for a pack of 100. And then the number 2 snap hooks. Also got these on Amazon, and I think these were $7 for a pack of 100. So I've already went ahead and put the snap hook on the treble hook. I like to put it on the treble hook and then put it on the bait. I don't know if there's an easier way to do that, but that's how I found to get those to go on there. So take our snap hook pliers. We are going to get our snap hook opened. All right, there's one. All right. So there are both of our snap hooks. Got both of our treble hooks on there. So we got some nice glitter effect. With these being plain crankbaits, all solid, all one color crankbaits. We got that nice glitter effect. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to finish. I'm going to get the rest of these, the treble hooks on the rest of these, and we're going to go see if these will catch any fish. Alright guys, so we had a little bit of technical difficulties with our audio during our recording. So I wanted to just let you guys know what was going on here in the video. So these first two clips are two fish that I had missed. These were within the probably the first 15 minutes of us being out there. Um, you know, just wasn't really wasn't really awake yet, I guess, and really wasn't expecting them to hit that quick. So these were, like I said, two fish that I had missed right off the bat there. Um, and then this little guy here. So this was the first fish that I was able to actually land in the boat. No, it is not no wall hanger. It is a little bluegill, but still fun to catch. Considering that these crankbaits are 3D printed and everything is pretty much kind of handmade. So still kind of fun. And it was kind of fun because the fish were actually hitting the crankbaits and seemed to like them. So here was the first actual bass that I was able to get landed in the boat. He actually hit it. He actually hit this one pretty good. So, and as the day went, they seemed to get a little bit more aggressive with them and was hitting them a lot harder than there in the beginning. And guys, I have no clue what I was doing. I am not left-handed, so I have no clue why I was trying to fight with this treble hook to get it out with my left hand here. So don't mind me struggling with this. And this one here was probably well, it was one of my two favorite catches of the day. As you can see, where we was fishing had a lot of grass and weeds that we had to deal with. So get through the weeds there, and if you can see, he chases this all the way into probably about 10 feet from the boat, and come up and hit it pretty good there. So that was probably one of my favorite catches of the day. Like I said earlier, no, they're not any trophies that you're gonna hang on the wall, but they're all still fun to catch. And that's why I always say reel all the way to the boat. I see a lot of people that, you know, they don't get anything within the first 2 seconds. They're reeling it back in and casting back out. I've got so many fish on that reel end, especially close to the boat. This one here was also one of my other favorites. So this one was a pretty cool one. So me and my son, we actually double up on this one, and I've got a view from both perspectives. So this first one was from my view, and um, as I get this one in, he catches one literally right after me. So this one was another one of their favorites. Um, so yeah, that one was another fun moment there. Being able to double up like that, especially as you have another boat going by as you do it, literally right there. So here's this perspective from him. So yeah, overall, very good day. I was actually very surprised and impressed with how many fish we actually caught on these. I mean, we caught quite a few more that I did not get on camera. And then these were just two more fish that he ended up missing here. So you can see here he just I don't know his hook set on these last two just weren't really on. He gets this next one he gets almost all the way to the boat and it gets off, but overall, very impressed. With the outcome, like I said, there was more. We caught some more, but was not able to get them on film. But I think we caught enough and got enough on film to show you guys that they actually do work pretty good. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions on anything, any of the products being used in today's video, or where I get anything, um, leave a comment and leave a like, hit the subscribe, and I have more coming, so hopefully you guys are around for that, and I will see you guys on the next one.